Okay, so we're the ocean carbon group. So we're looking at this process called the biological pump, which is biology moving carbon around the ocean and storing as a pool of carbon that would otherwise be in the atmosphere. And the previous focus of CMIP5 was just simply looking at how much carbon left the surface. And in this project, we want to quantify other metrics such as how deep it gets into the ocean, which controls how long it gets stored for, and actually how much of this carbon is being stored and how it changes in the CMIP6 ensemble. So we started quantifying how much carbon is being stored in the UK ESM. This was quite a difficult, data-hungry, power-hungry calculation to do, so we've only really managed to do it for one model. But this is really cool. So we found that the amount of carbon decreases initially in historical run, and this is due to biological effects. So this is the warming up of degradation rates of carbon that means it's being stored for less longer in the ocean. But as ocean stratification starts to kick in with warming, the ocean circulation is slowing down, and it means that actually the pump is turning into a sink for CO2 rather than the source. And it's really interesting that this kind of happens at around about now in the present, and it shows some dependence on the time scale of which the emissions happen on. Somebody want to talk about the export production? I thought somebody
yeah, that's me. So the figure on the left shows the change in carbon export from around 2015 to about 2100 at about 100 meters depth. So it shows a variety of different models. We've got 6 different models. Each have a different biogeochemistry and slightly different physics in them. And these differences have caused changes in the carbon export. And basically this graph represents the ocean's ability to take up the carbon essentially. So in terms of changes from the physical point of view, we can expect changes in stratification, but temperature changes will also impact biology. In the water column, sorry if you can hear that, that's my doorbell, and the interaction with carbon. So you can see from this graph, if you look at the black line, that's the UK ESM data, and you can see that that's exporting less carbon related to the others. And we've got the IPSL CM5 model, which is the blue line, and that's exporting slightly more. So if you then look at the plot on the right-hand side, the spatial variations with time, you can see that actually this is quite well represented in these as well. So if you look at the UK ESM data, you can see that we've got a similar sort of trend in that we've got that negative export in there. There's a lot more blue in that figure compared to the sort of browny yellowy color. And the same with the IPSLCM5 data, we've got a lot more of the yellowy stuff in there because that's exporting slightly more. And it suggests that the export production is not quite so negative. So we're starting to get some good results out here, but there's still a little bit more work to do. Thank you.
Thanks. Just stress that all of this we're seeing here has been downloaded off the central repository. It wasn't in CEDA, and it's all happened this afternoon. So this group has done like tons of work today. It's really impressive. So the last bit is looking at how much of that carbon that's being exported is actually reaching the deep ocean where it's going to be stored.
That's 3 minutes as well.
Can I have like 20 seconds? So we've got 4 models. It's just really striking. So this is a fraction of carbon reaching the deep ocean. It's an order of magnitude different between different models that we've looked at, and they're going in completely different directions. So that's something that I think is really, really cool. It's not been seen before. And then we have one bonus, which is Alan talking about something else.
Yeah, I was going to show you a little interactive figure app thing, but I think that's the next group to come up. So I guess we've already run over time. So watch this space and we'll email it around when it's a bit prettier. What about that, since we're already over?
Cool. We were very ambitious, but I think we achieved good starts at everything that actually we wanted to get at.